Marketing is a huge part of running your creative business. But if you thought about any other business, in those cases, sometimes running marketing for one social media platform can be one person's entire job. So as the sole person in your business, you have to accept and recognize that doing all of the marketing on all of the platforms, in all of the places, in all of the ways is a lot for one person, both mentally and physically. All of the energy and effort and thought and pressure that goes into that is a lot. So you have to look after yourself and make sure that you are caring for yourself in all of that process. So how do you prioritize your mental health and your well-being while marketing your creative business? Well, that is what we are going to talk about in today's episode. So let's dive in. Hello and welcome to Brand Your Passion, the show that helps you turn the thing you love the most into the thing people know and love you for. If you're an artist or maker who is ready to get more eyes on your work, more engagement in your audience, and more creativity in your life, then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Holly Arnett, the brand strategist and coach for creatives, and it's time to brand your passion. Okay, so whether you are marketing your business online or in person, whether you're doing like networking or social media stuff or email marketing or whatever it is, there is a lot that goes into doing all of that stuff, whether that's mentally, whether that's physically, the time and the effort and actually doing the thing, whether it's like the pressure of showing up and being yourself and, making sure that you tick off doing the right things and that you get you're hitting the right milestones and that you're getting the right amount of reach and that you're, doing all the things that everybody online tells you have to do and that you are making sales from what you're doing and, doing all of those things. That is a lot. It's a lot mentally, it's a lot physically. So we want to make sure that when you are doing all of that, you are doing that in a way that is looking after yourself. We obviously want to do that because we want to grow your business. We want to make sure that there are sales coming in, that you are reaching new people, that you are getting your work out there into the world. Marketing is a really powerful tool, and we want to use that tool in a powerful, useful, effective way, right? But we want to make sure that we do it in a really good way that's not going to be harmful, that's not going to lead to burnout, that is not going to hurt you in the long run. So what boundaries can we put in place? What things can we do to help ourselves as artists, as creatives, to prevent burnout, to prevent our mental health hurting, or to prevent ourselves just, getting tired and exhausted and hurt by this hamster wheel of marketing that can happen sometimes. So if you have found yourself struggling with marketing or, hitting the point of burnout or finding yourself, feeling your mental health hurting a little from social media or from marketing or from just constantly having a lot to do when it comes to marketing, then hopefully this episode will help you with that. So today I have 10 tips for you to help you with prioritizing your mental health when it comes to marketing your creative business. And I am not a therapist. I am not a mental health expert. So if you need that help, please go and get that. I am a brand and marketing coach, so I can help you on that side of things. But if you need help otherwise, I will leave some links in the description for you to go and get that help. Please go and do that. But let's dive into some of the tips that will help you to prioritize your mental health when marketing your creative business. So, first things first is you want to use your strategy. So, if you've listened to any other episodes of Brand Your Passion, that I am a proponent, obviously, of having a brand strategy, but I'm not telling you to do this for no reason. I'm telling you to have a brand strategy because it will help you when it comes to marketing your business. It will make things a lot easier and a lot less stressful because it helps you to make decisions. It helps you to narrow down the things that you need to choose and narrow down the shiny object things that can come along with marketing, right? So say you're getting stressed out or overwhelmed because the world and the internet and society is telling you that you have to do this, and this, and you have to be doing it in this way, and you have to be, ticking all of these boxes, say like a new social media platform is coming out and you have to jump on it because everybody else is doing it, or you have to use this new feature on this platform because that's how you're going to get views, or whatever it is that the internet is telling you have to do. Your brand strategy is going to be the tool that will help you to decide whether you actually have to do that or not, because what you can do is look to that brand strategy and say, okay, I know who my audience are, and so I know whether my audience are actually going to be on that platform or not. I know who I am and what my brand is all about, so I know whether that platform or that feature is actually aligned with who I am and who my brand is. So I know whether it makes sense for me or not. So I can easily say, actually, I don't need to do that, or actually, yes, that is a good idea for me. And so it helps you to make decisions and to rule out things that are not aligned with you at all. There are lots of other parts of your brand strategy, like your goals and your brand voice, and like so many other parts that will help you when it comes to, making decisions, deciding what to say yes to, deciding what to say no to, deciding what's aligned with you and your brand and your business, that will make decision making and overwhelm easier, because you can say, okay, that's not for me. I can shut all of those things out. I can say no to the noise. And so use your strategy, have that document, and, anytime anything feels overwhelming or it feels like, the pressure is coming in and you have all these voices nattering in your mind, you can look at that strategy, open that document, refresh yourself on your vision, your mission, your people, your voice, your personality, and recenter yourself on what matters, where you're going, and what you are trying to achieve, and that will really help you focus on what matters. Number 2, which is related to that, is to stick to your values. So when you are marketing your creative business, it is really important to remember what is important to you and to remember what rules you have for you and your business and your brand. So if you have set values for yourself and you know what is important to you, it is so much easier to, again, shut out what doesn't matter, and what isn't aligned with you and your business. So when you are marketing your brand, or, if you have an opportunity come up, or if there's a trend going around and you wonder, should I jump on that? Should I say yes to this opportunity? Should I post this kind of content? It's a lot easier to decide whether to do that or not when you know your values. So I recommend, if you haven't done it already, make sure you know what your values are, have those written down, have it really clear, not just like, what is my value in one word, but what is that value as an action statement, and what does that value look like written down in a description. And I have blog posts and articles and resources on how to do that, so I'll link that as well, because that is so helpful in making those sorts of decisions and knowing, should I get involved in this or not, and it will make marketing your business and getting overwhelmed and not getting overwhelmed a lot easier. Number 3 is to be selective and don't do it all. So that's kind of tied into what we are talking about in a lot of this. But when it comes to marketing your business, it's actually a lot better and a lot freeing when you realize that you can be more powerful and more productive with your marketing when you do a couple of things really, really well. So this is me giving you explicit permission to pick one platform or one or two platforms or one or two strategies for marketing and go all in on that. So instead of trying to be on all of the social media platforms all at once and trying to do all of the marketing tactics, I would recommend pick maybe like one online strategy or one social media strategy and one other strategy. So maybe you're like, I want to be on Instagram and have an email list, or I want to do TikTok and in-person networking, or, like pick two and go all in on those two and see how you can do that really, really, really well, and how you can get those two to work together really, really, really well. And that will be so much more powerful than trying to do all of the things. And when you choose those two, it will be so much more freeing than trying to do all the things. That you will realize in your mind, in your creativity, you'll feel like it's just so much more, like you'll have so much more creative ideas, and it'll be so much more fun when you have kind of the constraint of like, okay, I have these two platforms or these two strategies. What can I do within those two strategies? And you'll have so much more fun doing that, I think. And then once you master those two and you have a process and a system down and it's working really well, then you can expand to more platforms and more strategies, and expand in how those add in to your current system. So be selective, don't try and do it all, and that will help you in your, with your mental health, not trying to do it all, not trying to like burn yourself out with trying to post everywhere all at once all the time. If you just try and post in one or two places, that will really help you. Number 4 is to know your strengths. This will help you in deciding which of those strategies you are going to choose, because there is nothing worse, in my opinion, than trying to do marketing strategies that are not tied into your strengths as a solo creator. Because if you are the one doing everything and you hate doing that thing, it is such a slog. So figure out what your strengths are and lean into those strengths and find the marketing strategies that align with that. So for example, if you love to speak and you love editing video, then maybe you should make TikToks or long form YouTube videos, or maybe you should record a podcast. If you love to write, then maybe you should be a blogger or a newsletter writer, or think about what it is that you love to do and that is you are really good at, and make that thing and do that as your form of marketing. Because not only will that make it easier, but that will make it easier to be consistent with. Because if it's hard, then you're not going to want to keep doing it and it's going to be easier to give up on. But if you love it, you're going to want to keep doing it. It's going to be easier to keep doing it. You're going to want to keep showing up and doing it. And so that means you're going to be consistent, and that's what we want. And that's what's going to be best for your marketing. So pick something that you're good at and do that, and you'll be more consistent, which is great. Number 5 is to know your limits. So sometimes it's just too much and you have to learn to acknowledge that. And it's hard as a solo person when there is so much to do and there's always more you can be doing. And sometimes we feel guilty about that, and especially, we have bills to pay and lives to live and other people to look after maybe, and ourselves to look after, and there's a lot going on. And so it's it's hard to give things up or to stop doing things or say I can't do that thing or it's too much or I need help or whatever it is, but you have to know your limits and you have to know when it's too much and you can't do it anymore, or you can't do all the things. I've been in business full-time for over 6 years now, and there are so many times that I have had to tell myself I cannot do all of the things, however hard it is for me to tell myself that. There's times where I've taken a break, like I took a break from this podcast because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it all, and I had to figure out how I could change it, because I loved it and I still wanted to do it, but I had to figure out how to make it work. And I had to figure out a way to bring back joy into the process because I loved it, but I didn't love the process at the time because it was too hard. And so you have to know your limits and know when it's too hard or when it's too much or when you need help. And so, it's hard to accept, but you have to figure out how to accept it and how to know your limits and how to let other people help you, or to how to let things go when it's too hard. So I know that's a hard one. But number 5 is to know your limits. Number 6 is to set some boundaries, whether that is with yourself or with other people. So this is one that I'm always learning as well. So I'm with you on this one. But with yourself, that can be, boundaries with your phone, with social media, with your devices, with time frames, things like that. So it might be setting time limits on social media apps, or not answering DMs or comments after certain times, or not in the weekends. Maybe only answering emails it's one time a day, or only creating marketing stuff one day a week, or only working on the weekdays, or whatever it is that's going to work for you, that is going to protect your mental health, whatever it is that's going to help you and make things easier and make things gentler on your brain. You have to figure out what those things are for you, but those are some things that might help you. It might be putting your phone away, setting those time limits, setting I have the thing on my phone on Instagram that's the nighttime mode, so people know I'm not going to reply until the morning. Just little things like that. Setting boundaries with other people as well. So if you have clients, if you have obviously this is not necessarily marketing, but if you do have clients, if you have customers, on your customer service emails, you might have a signature or an auto reply that says I only reply during these certain times, so people know that you are not available all the time. That is a good thing to do. So setting boundaries that set yourself up for success and don't set yourself up for burnout. So have a think about what boundaries could help you when it comes to looking after your mental health in terms of your marketing, and what things have been making things difficult and maybe have been leading to burnout, and then what boundaries could you put in place to prevent that, that could help. And I know it is hard to put those boundaries in place, especially when it comes to other people, but they are worth doing. And when you do it, it sets an example for other people as well. So it's good practice to do, and you never know who might learn something from you. So definitely worth doing. Number 7 is to delegate if and when you can. I know this is definitely a privilege and a luxury when you have, built up the income to be able to do this. But if and when you can, it is definitely a worthwhile investment to delegate some tasks to other people. So I have done this in the past. I am starting to do this again, especially with my podcast. It's been heaven. And I'm so grateful for my podcast producer, Rochelle. If you're listening, I love you. She will be listening because she's editing this podcast. But it is so valuable to have somebody help you. as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, you are one person. You are doing the job of probably 10 plus people in your business right now. And if you are listening, I know that you understand what that feeling is like. You have the brain of probably 10 plus people like running around in your brain right now. And so you need to, if and when you can, try and take that little segment of your brain and hand it to somebody else so that they can take that off of you. And then you can just focus on those 9 little other people who are in your brain and worry about them. And so if and when you can, take some of the parts of your marketing that either you're not good at or that you don't like doing or that would just like take some weight off your mind, or that would allow you to focus on the other things that you do love or that you are great at, or that would, bring in some more money for you. Like this is how I think about it, is that my business, my job in my business is to bring money into my business, right? And so the more time I can spend on that, the more money my business makes and the better my business does, right? And so not that my business is just about making money, but it needs to succeed, right? And so the more time I can spend on that, that's great. That's better. It's a better use of my time to spend my time on money-making activities. And so it's better for me to do that than to do some of the other things that I could delegate to somebody else who can do some other still important things, but things that they can't do that I need to do, right? So such as like delivering services and working with my clients and thinking up the ideas for the marketing and like stuff like that. So the same will go for you. Like you need to actually make your products and make the art and do all the things that you like actually need to do as an artist, actually being an artist. So if you can get somebody to help you with the marketing side of things, then that will free you up to do the art side of things and do the business side of things that you need to be doing. So if you can, think about what parts of the marketing you could and would delegate, and then see if you can work towards delegating some parts of it. It doesn't have to be all of it. Maybe it's just like the actual scheduling part of it and publishing, or maybe it's writing some captions, or maybe you want somebody to help you with some ads or just some Pinterest marketing, or like, I don't know, some element of it, some email marketing, for example, or whatever you want. Some part of it might be helpful. So I recommend delegating if and when you can. Number 8 is to only pay attention to the metrics that matter or not at all. So obviously with marketing, with social media, it is so tempting to pay attention to how many people are following you, how many people like each post, how many people comment on each post, how many people save each post, all of those things. And that's really satisfying when you do get a bunch of watches or like views or a lot of reach or a bunch of people following you. Like that's amazing and it is really good. But the downside of that is that it's really depressing when that doesn't happen. And when you pay attention to those numbers too much, that can be really harmful and can really hurt your mental health, and especially if you're comparing yourself to other people. And the truth of the matter is those numbers don't really matter. Like followers and likes and saves and things do not have an impact on your bottom line when it comes down to it, unless you are an influencer and you need those numbers to convince people to be a sponsor or do a partnership with you. Then maybe that does matter a little bit. But even still, like it might not matter as much, but I'm guessing as artists, like those numbers don't really matter to you. What does matter is how many people are buying from you. So how many people are coming from those posts and are clicking through and are buying from you. How many people are finding your ads and are coming to buy from you. So my recommendation to you is to think about what of those metrics, how many of those numbers actually matter, and do any of them matter? Because I will be honest with you, I don't look at them. Like anytime I get a follower, I'm like, amazing, cool, welcome to the family. I am so happy to have you. Come and hang out with us and learn about branding. Let's do that. And I'm stoked about that. And like when I post something, I'm not worried about how many people like it. I am just like, if anybody learns from this, I'm stoked. But I do not care really how many people that is. Like, yeah, sometimes I have the same feelings as everybody else. Like I have a down day and I start looking at other people. But in general, I try not to look at it, because what I'm more worried about is like, are people learning from me? Am I impacting people? Are people finding me and like reaching out to work with me? Am I getting opportunities to be on podcasts and to, do cool things as a brand? That's what's more important to me. So what I would love you to do is to think about what's important to you. Is it sales? Is it wholesale orders? Is it like branding opportunities like that I just said, like being on podcasts, like that sort of thing? What is it that matters to you? And think about those rather than the other metrics like likes and views and all of that stuff, because yeah, does it really matter? Maybe not. Okay, number 9 is to be authentic. And I know this is a buzzword, the buzzword to end all buzzwords. But when you have like really gotten to know yourself and uncovered kind of who you are and what makes you you and what makes you special and who you want to be sort of online and as an artist and what your work is like and how you want to share that with the world, it is so much easier to market yourself and to show up and create content and share that with the world than when you are trying to be someone that you're not, and when you are trying to follow trends and follow other people and to pretend to be someone else. So as much as you can, and again, I know this is hard and I know that it is easier said than done sometimes, but follow, again, I have a bunch of articles and episodes and stuff like this, but go through the brand strategy process. Learn about your personality, uncover who you are, get in touch with yourself a little and figure out like, what does it mean to me to be authentically myself, and how do I want to show up, and how do I start doing that? And what would it mean if I just said, stuff it, I'm just going to be myself and try to share who I am and see what happens, and say, yeah, I'm just going to show up, and if people don't like it, they don't like it. But I'm going to see if I can find the people who do. I'm hoping you will find that will be, it might initially be a little difficult as you learn to, just be yourself and not be afraid to do that. But over time, you will discover that it's a lot easier to stop, pretending and trying to fit in and trying to do what everybody else is doing, and easier to just be yourself and be authentic and just be who you are. And last but not least, I think a great way to prioritize your mental health when marketing your creative business is to find your community, because having a group of people, whether it's one person, a few people, or a group of people who are also doing this, also creatives, maybe also trying to market their business as well, who understand what it's like to be in this position, helps so much. And when you are, putting yourself out there, you are sharing your work with the world, you are doing your best to reach new people and to get sales and to get opportunities and to make your dream a reality, it makes a huge difference to have people around you who get that and who can share like their experiences of doing that and can give you feedback and can tell you about their experience when they've done certain things and tried certain things, and can give you a pep talk when things are hard, and cheer you on when things are going well and all of that stuff. So, whether it's like reaching out to people who you've admired online and, reaching out to them to talk to them, or finding a community like mine, the Next Level Creative, or other ones online. There are so many, or local ones in your community. Whatever it is, whoever it is, find a community of people who you can have around you to support you. Will make a huge difference for sure. Okay, so those have been 10 tips to help you prioritize your mental health when marketing your creative business. So they have been using your brand strategy, so making sure you are referring back to that all the time, using it to help you make decisions and cut out all the things that are not aligned with your brand, sticking to your values, being selective, so don't be doing everything all at once, following your strengths, knowing your limits, setting boundaries, delegating if and when you can, paying attention only to the metrics that matter or not at all, being authentic, and finding your community. So I hope that one or many or all of those have been helpful for you this week. And if you have any more tips that you would love to share with the community, please let me know and I will share them on social media. That would be great. Other than that, I hope you have enjoyed this one. And as I mentioned, if you would love a community to help you with stuff like this, please check out the Next Level Creative. It is a branding lab designed to help you to get more customers, grow your audience, and get branding opportunities on repeat. And we have a community. It's designed to be a community who can support you with stuff like this. So I would love to have you in there. You can check out the link in the show notes, or you can just go to thenextlevelcreative.com to join that. And I mentioned a lot of other episodes in this episode, so those will all be linked in the show notes as well, so you can keep listening, keep learning. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye! Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Brand Your Passion. If you enjoyed this one, it would mean the world to me if you could share it on social media and make sure to tag me at Maker and Moxie so that I can see and share it too. It really does help to get the show out there, which means that we can all work towards that Maker and Moxie vision of making the world a more creative place, one brand at a time. Thanks so much in advance, and I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, keep creating.